Welcome back to Greater Jackson Business Beat. We're in Flowood, Mississippi in the offices of Estate Planning 123, and I'm joined by longtime friend and well-known Jackson attorney, Mr. Walt Dallas, who runs Estate Planning 123. Walt, good to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure to have you over here. Thanks for having me.
Now, Estate Planning 123, tell me about the company. You've been in practice for many years in the Jackson area, but Estate Planning 123 is a relatively new company. Tell me about the organization.
We came up with a logo about 4 years ago to describe the delivery of legal services to our clients. We have processes and procedures. We have automated drafting formats. And we've done all that and we kind of moved that to the background so we can focus more on the client and we deliver a better client experience. We've packaged our estate planning documents so when someone comes in they can purchase a package for a set price and they'll know exactly what they're getting into. And we arrange the meetings so that the clients get to meet at least two of us in the office so they feel comfortable in the office. And of course being out on Lakeland Drive has been very nice because we have clients just stop in sometimes and give us some tomatoes.
Well, you can make a sandwich. But who needs estate planning? I mean, is it something that everybody needs or just the wealthy individuals? Or?
It's a great question because we get that a lot. Do I need a will? And generally, if you've got a base of assets, you need to know where it's going to go with death. Folks with kids need to make sure their children are going to be taken care of and not leave that important item to chance. Even younger folks have life insurance, and that's a lot of funds at death. Life insurance has got fairly inexpensive, but at death it blossoms and all of a sudden it's a large asset. So we need to make sure that those assets are taken care of. Our target market is generally people over the age of 65 years of age with asset base of at least $500,000. And so we know how to do those. We give them a good client experience. We also turn it around very quickly so we don't have clients waiting on us for very many things. And so we produce the documentation. We find if we do the estate plan fairly quickly, the clients enjoy it more because they can remember it from meeting to meeting.
Now you mentioned over 65, but really any age could benefit from this, and I would think probably, Walt, in some cases, maybe the earlier the better.
Sure. We like to get folks in here earlier. It's just, I've kind of kidded. I could stand out on Lakeland Drive and give away estate planning packages to people under 30 and nobody would stop. It's just a difficult item. Usually if someone's of a younger age, they're more worried about the children and that sort of thing. We do a lot of estate planning directed at larger estates. We've got a plan where we focus in on asset bases of $10 million or more. We're in a very unusual climate now because we have no estate tax in this year. Next year is going to be quite interesting because under current law, the exemption sunsets back to $1 million. And so that means all the assets that someone leaves at death over $1 million are subject to a potential 55% estate tax bracket. So we are following the estate tax story very closely because it's got a lot of twists and turns.
Now, you write a monthly column for Greater Jackson Business, and there's always a lot of information in that column, and we want our readers to make sure to see your column every issue. But if there's one specific or maybe two specific issues right now that are of critical importance in your field that our viewers should know about, what would those issues be?
One of the things we do for our larger, wealthier clients that have a nice income is we do income tax planning for them. And the columns in the Greater Jackson Journal have been focused on the income tax arena because that's our market, that's your readership. So that's one of the issues that we're following closely, and we're coming up with strategies to implement so that we can do an income tax reduction, because we're going to see, as everybody knows, the Bush tax cuts go away, and we're going to see an increase in rates if nothing happens. Also, we're going to see a new 3.8% Medicare tax that will be on top of incomes above $250,000. So there's a more of an acute awareness of the potential income taxes that people are having to pay.
I would think in your profession that you really have to stay on top of regulations and changes in tax laws. I mean, how do you do that? Do you subscribe to a service? Do you have to just educate yourself on a weekly basis? How do you do it, Walt?
About 3 different ways. One is that I subscribe to a service and I get emails every day, and one of the things I do at the beginning of the day is I see the emails that have come in and see what's the current news. Secondly, we have a group that meets the second Monday of every week, and we go over whatever tax developments have happened in that time frame, and that's usually a larger conversation. Thirdly, we go to seminars, usually national seminars, that address the larger estate planning, tax issues, and that sort of thing.
You know, Walt, I've known you for many, many years, and you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you're an attorney, and a lot of attorneys just kind of get set in a practice and they're set in their ways. You're different. You've always kind of carved your own niche and carved your own path. What's the most exciting part of your job with estate planning 1, 2, 3? And if you were to give advice to entrepreneurs who are watching, and we hope they are, what would that advice be?
The most fun part of the process is once I got it figured out, I had my procedures down, it was teaching the procedures to the folks in the office and enabling them to deliver those same level of services under the parameters of the program.
We're living through difficult economic times. Has that affected your business? Has that affected the way people think about their estate planning? And if so, what do you tell them? How do you assuage those worries?
It has. 07, 08, 09 have been challenging years. Yeah. Our business revenues have not been affected. We just tend to pedal harder, just work a little bit harder. We've noticed we've done a lot of smaller estates, I think, in the past year. We have also seen a decrease in the number of larger estates doing large estate plans. I think they're just kind of waiting and seeing. I'm seeing an increased awareness, I guess, once I kind of talk them into it, to say, here's the greatest opportunity you're going to have to impact your estate tax situation. In the rest of your life.
Move now.
Move now, yeah.
Walt Dallas, Estate Planning 1, 2, 3. You know, Walt, you've been a long-time supporter and friend to me and to my publications over the years, and we wish you continued success with what you're doing because you're helping people, and it's a great product. Walt Dallas, thanks so much for having.
Thanks, Jack. It's always a pleasure.
The opportunity to speak with us, Walt. And that's our show for this evening. I'm Jack Criss. Thanks for watching Greater Jackson Business Beat. Be sure to tune in every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 o'clock on Local 98.